now we're looking at both Phoenix Guard, Pirates in Pajamas, and UNC Inc. Because... man, I mean, we could also just not play the match because we can use transitive properties for this one. Both won against Shikigami 3-1 and both lost against M80. UNC Inc, they lost 3-1. The Pirates lost 3-2, therefore we could just declare them the winners. No, but in all seriousness though, like obviously this Pirates roster, they've looked great.
Yeah.
They taking group favorite M80 to map 5. They looked like they had the upper hand in the Orisa mirror, which is so crucial to have right now. And also, we got to see some fun ball play coming out of Strider.
Yeah, we did. I will say, Chronic was just the kind of the GOAT, actually, on his scan, or on the Soj in their match the other day. Just ridiculous. Also, the Widow play. It was absurd. I love seeing a lot of Widow, and I'm glad we saw some Junkertown. I think that's the only place we're ever going to see the Widowmaker, but my god, it made my heart sing, that's for sure.
Now, of
Yeah,
course,
their backline there as well, sick.
Other side though, Matt, Jaws got to cast UNC Inc. How do you feel about this roster? We just saw them play yesterday.
Well, I mean, look, I think Paintbrush probably like the, leader of this team, I would say, probably, so to speak, just off of, like, experience-based, but it's really kind of like this matchup that, like, matters the most, like you were saying, with, like, the transit properties. These teams have basically beat the same teams lost to the same teams, so it's, like, fairly even competitive match, but I also think I definitely would favor, PiP in this matchup, but just like the last series, I mean, who the hell knows what happens today?
Oh, yeah, I did. I'm slowly starting to remember now. Yes, the Alari on Midtown. I really hope we see that again today. I thought that was really fun. A really interesting way of playing it. I was kind of bashing on about it for like a good 10 minutes, and Scott was just like, Alari, I was trying to sell it really hard, and hey, maybe they end up playing it again.
It was not the difference maker. Like I still don't understand. Like, Alari had no bearing on the outcome of that match at all. I'm not against Alari. I'm not going to sell people on playing Alari either.
You see Nebzo? Boom. Got to.
Here's how this is going, though, Zoe. Okay. Is that Jack just doesn't want to play Lucio in rank, so he will try and sell people all of these other supports, so when he plays, like, BAP or Alari and, like, everybody yells at him for throwing, he can be like, no, that one guy in OWCS said it was pretty good.
BAP's not a throw pick.
He's like trading insider information of some
You on BAP is a throw pick.
Yeah, okay, listen, all of our games look like throws, to be honest, because we're just not that good. Our players, however, they know what they're doing.
Compared to everybody here.
Exactly, and that's why we're heading into this game watching
We'd be a super wide group.
Super wide group. Yeah, if us three played, yeah, probably. I haven't seen you crawl out of bronze just yet, Matt. Alright, Samoa.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie at all. There's a crab.
Now they've removed Sully to defend me, so now it's just me.
Yeah, no one. You don't need defending, bro. It's all good. Look at the crab. He's so cute.
We'll get into this first round. Samoa. It looks like PiP could be going with the Orisa-based comp, at least at the start. UNC Inc. Still some time to make some changes, but like on this specific point, the Sigma is actually pretty good, right? There's like a little bit of high ground here, and a decent amount of space to like cross where the shield and playing some of this high ground and just like poking damage consistently can beat out like the brute force of like an Orisa.
Yeah, we've seen Sigma quite a lot, especially yesterday. We're going a little bit wide there, but thing is with the Orisa, you can just kind of do this. You can just walk past the Sigma that's already used accretion. Could be a little bit rough for your backline. Haven already dead. Will we PiP end up capping that point first too? Nice stuff. Now Chronic can set up really well here. It's hard for this Sigma to get much stuff done, especially when you lose a lot of that shield. You have to play passive for so much longer. Your abilities and your tools to survive aren't as great as the Orisa, but you're good at anchoring the point, that is for sure, when you have control.
Yeah, for sure. If anybody's wondering as well, Tricky Tracer, that is Anya. So if anyone was wondering, like, who is this new player on PiP? It's not.
I believe that's the new streamer mode where you change your names into something else that's like Overwatch related.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She can't trick us though. We know.
We know she's there. Yeah,
so,
there you go.
Yeah,
they were on the roster
info.
Insider, yeah, again, we had the screen before telling us that Anyan, she was playing.
Yep. We also have the official roster, which it would be very easy to have somebody in at this moment. They also probably wouldn't, PiP, they push actually up into like the door here, where I think against the Sigma, this is like what you want to do, right? Take away the space. Like the Sigma really kind of like lacks if you like bully him, get behind his shield, close quarter, you know, pack him up, where they push up a little bit. Now they'll back up as, I mean, Chronic finds Ryan here at the starts, and you're gonna back up again if your UNC Inc is not the best of starts.
Yeah, Chronic, I was already bigging Chronic up a little bit earlier on. The Flux is available soon as well. I mean, with Chronic dead, that's not good. You can Flux the backline pretty easily here, and you can always guarantee yourself the point. Spear's already gone too. This might be a good time for Camman to go. Might not even need to use it, to be fair. Little juggling there. Onto the point, just making sure they hold on for as long as possible. Paintbrush already down though. Stone lands the Blink Smack kill. And Hanbei too. I mean, this is all falling apart from UNC Inc. They took down one of the key carries for Pirates in Pajamas, and they still end up not capping the point. 90% on the board now. As Chronic comes back, kills Haven. This is a very messy fight at the very end. UNC Inc should be able to get a touch though, as Paintbrush is alive.
Are you even going to get like a good use of this Flux, right? You're still building up towards a Deadeye, as this will be a contest there that comes in from Ryan. He gets quite low, so you're going to have somebody else step up contest.
Oh, Chronic's got the overclock. There's no way Paintbrusher gets away from that one. Both supports down. Cowman with a Flux, not mining much purchase at all. Even a sound barrier on top. And that should be round 99. Ticks over to 100. That's 0% for UNC Inc. That's quite one-sided.
They had an opportunity there, though, right? Like, you know, PiP gets aggressive, they push on in. Hanbei drops the amplification matrix, right? And they're able to pick up a kill. It's just the distance they have to cross, right? Allows, you know, PiP to get back at full speed. At that point, right, you have the Sojourns over the point. Very, very difficult to dislodge Chronic from that position.
I think UNC Inc's one of their biggest storylines from yesterday was the fact that the team was formed an hour prior to the start of Swiss. So, like, getting this far and having the chance to go through will be massive for the team. Of course, going down one round like that, not the best start, but control. Can be a little bit of a control moment. So, you know, we'll go again, and now we'll play the Orisa. No more Sigma. Just pure Orisa duels.
I like the Cassidy here on this point versus the Sojourn, just because like the sightline is so effectively good for Cassidy, as Haven takes out that first pick where, like, there's not like a huge massive sightline, right, where Sojourn can like kind of like railgun somebody cross map. This is very mid-range.
All right, there's the fight win. That should be cap 2 for UNC Inc pretty quick. Hanbei is going to switch over to the Kiriko. Was on the BAP previously. But yeah, it was just Haven landing some nice shots there.
Now we'll see where they decide to play. Like, do you kind of like push up towards that main choke, try and control some of this high ground here, towards the side of the point? It looks like they at least want to contest this. They don't want to let Pirates in Pajamas just push on up, get control. Few shots in Haven, that's going to force him back.
Oh my god! Like, you can't even react to that. You got speared as soon as you peeked.
Yeah.
Rough start for Chronic. Yeah, actually. Ooh. Okay. Good start from UNC Inc. This is looking exact. It's now Haven's. Okay, it's now Haven's chance to click heads. Chronic doing nothing on the Cassidy. It was the opposite when they were playing Sojourn on that last round.
So we'll see. They can. For a second there, I was like, are they considering some changes? Maybe like really the only change you would make is maybe Sojourn, right? But you see how effective the Cassidy is for UNC Inc. That's kind of why you like it here on this point.
This headshot onto Haven. Calman wanting to get into the backline. That is a large Terror Surge. Anion perfectly timing the Suzu, but still the damage follow-up a little bit too much there for them to deal with. Oh dear. And only using one ult too for UNC Inc. That is a very nice team fight win. No 10-player kill streak too. I'm going to say no to that one. And Phoenix Guard, Pirates in Pajamas, 0% still on the point. They got ults coming back into this one, but so did UNC Inc. They could go fast here.
I mean, 0%, but also not even close. It feels like UNC Inc is just completely dominated so far here.
They're gonna go fast?
Yeah, they do push in a little bit. I think just a spear spin push up. Oh, it's actually gonna be the Deadeye right in the Kitsune rush. Nice spear there.
Okay, everybody hitting Q at once. UNC Inc have no ults left. Terror Surge comes out from Strider. pinning Haven to the wall. They've traded Cassidy's, but more kills are to come, I would imagine. Strider with no CDs left after this fortify disappears in about a second or so. Just so like Pirates in Pajamas have rotated to the point and do manage to find the cap, so UNC Inc a little bit slow on that rotation. It was more, I think, Phoenix Guard Pirates in Pajamas getting the better of them there, but they're still in this one, as Calman can set up for another big Terror Surge in about 20% or so, but Magic Maple just dies across the map. That's gotta be with a spear and a couple of extra kunais landed on top. No sound barrier now for Pirates in Pajamas as, well, UNC Inc, this is a go button right here. Chronic isolated from the rest of the team. That spear charged up from Strider to knock Calman off the map, goes a little bit wide, and the cap's going to come through in just a moment. Pirates in Pajamas are going to try to push their way back in, and they do so quite successfully, and they stop that cap going through. Somehow they managed to hold on to this fight, killing Calman, and just forcing Pirates in Pajamas, the rest of their team, to push onto UNC Inc's backline, and then going to force them away. That looked so one-sided for a moment there, but Calman falling is bad news.
When they lost to Lucio with Beat, it was like, oh, this is a wrap. Like, just, you know, let's get on to the next point. But somehow they're able to kind of keep the point contested. They get everybody back at full strength. And now you have another fight where now Pirates in Pajamas, Jack, they're a little bit, you know, they're still in this game, right? You're going to have Pulse Bomb, Terror Surge, plus Kitsune Rush here. You win this fight, you're in like a final fight territory where they might be able to do this.
And they got a priority position on the point too. Really early Suzu straight into the rush. That Suzu comes back off in a little bit of a quicker time. Stick onto the Orisa. Calman just going way too deep. You could see the rest of the team were just kind of trying to jostle with the front line. A lot of that was actually on Stone there. He actually just basically tagged down Haven and Ryan and Hanbei, just forcing them to like go nowhere near Calman. They were able to isolate the Orisa. Final fight territory for both teams. As Pirates in Pajamas, Stone is lurking.
Yes, both teams should end up dropping the rush where the Orisas try and like push through the rush, separate, you know, some of the players on the opposite side. Calman just took so much damage as the UNC Inc stepping up to the point. Tie game. It'll be PiP taking the lead here with a chance to win the map.
99% to 97. There's the high noon to dissuade any members from Pirates in Pajamas from touching. They do get the touch eventually. That high noon was almost perfectly timed there. Almost catching out Stone. Sound Barrier did save them. Magic Maple comes in clutch, but now Haven's in trouble. Terror Surge after the Fortify. That's a lot of damage, and Paintbrush down. An isolation kill there onto Paintbrush with that Terror Surge. You had to continue that touch. Strider just put his whole self in front of UNC Inc. Made sure the entire team was split, and that will be round. Pirates in Pajamas come up with the first map win.
Yeah, UNC Inc looked really good on that second point, right? They were able to get a really early lead, but I feel like the fight that you get Magic Maple dead early, and you don't capitalize. I mean, that's where it ends right there, right? Like if you're going to allow them to kind of stay in the game like that. So it's just that one moment they're not able to capitalize. That keeps Pirates in Pajamas in it. They do a great job of like kind of kiting the Deadeye there at the end, keeping the point contested once it gets flipped, and they take map number 1.
Oh yeah, we're going to Midtown next, our next map. This is where we did see some Liari, so we'll see if they end up whipping it out again. But yeah, you can't lose that fight, Matt. You really can't, especially when you take down the Lucio. But it was just a small out rotation there, and Phoenix Guard Pirates in Pajamas ended up taking the map.
I mean, the win condition is killing the Lucio. They did it basically instantly. It had to be like a spear and some shots from the Cassidy and the Orisa. And when you don't capitalize on that, right? Like Magic Maple makes it back into the fight, they win the fight, and then also they win the fight without using the sound barrier, right? Like you can almost make an argument they would have been better off just, you know, running in, forcing Magic Maple to use the sound barrier, dying, coming back on the next one. Like they pretty much got the worst case scenario for themselves there by getting that first pick, losing the fight, and not having him use it. So pretty unfortunate stuff there for UNC Inc. if you're an UNC Inc fan, but. They looked pretty good there in round number 2, so do have signs of life in this series.
I really like the way Strider was playing. Oh, Strider bouncing up on the main, like the middle. I always forget there's a middle, like a drop down there with a bounce pad. I always forget. I always fall down it. Feels pretty bad, but I like the way Strider was playing. Basically just isolating the backline. Like you have to deal with me before you can help Calman. That happened 2 fights back to back where Calman was getting isolated in the front line of Pirates in Pajamas because the rest of his team just couldn't get to him because Strider or like the Tracer was kind of poking them down or like basically being a brick wall that Orisa is and just stopping them from moving up. Midtown up next, Matt.
Yeah, and we'll see. You're a big Alari mid-talent enthusiast.
It could
make the case. Why is the Alari good here?
I already made the case yesterday. I don't need to make it again, man.
Stop it. But I'm intrigued. Sell me on Illari.
It worked just super well yesterday. Illari. There's so many little pylon spots you can kind of hide it around. Neb is coming in. Okay, they're definitely playing Illari, is what I'm saying. Double flex support coming in. Illari. There's lots of different hold spots too. You play more of like a poke style, right? And Illari does a lot of damage in terms of like just the raw output. Just if you land a headshot, Tracer can follow up, Sojin can follow up as well. It's two like a body shot from a Sojin railgun at 100 charge, right, is enough, and then a headshot from the Illari, like that's enough for a kill on like most people. So I'm just saying, a lot can be done on the defense. A lot of places to hide the pylon too, on the little fire truck at the very beginning. And yeah, I really like the pick. I'm not sure if it's the strongest, but if you're playing more of this poke with the SIG, like it can work out.
Yeah, I mean, well, it looks like we're gonna see it here on defense to start. I feel like Illari, in terms of just like the general like kind of sense of the meta, right, like is not very strong. I think though, like how you mentioned, like a situation here, right, like you're so reliant on the pylon. It feels like they tried to like move some of the power like into the right click heal, but to do the, you know, alternate fire heal and the range you have to do, like it's just pretty terrible, right? So we'll see if they can actually get some use out of it here early on. As for Pirates in Pajamas, I'll actually have mentioned Maple played the Brig here, so Brig Bat. They're trying to play in some of these close quarter areas where you kind of have to fight. The Brig's pretty decent.
So when Neb was playing before in a match the other day, or yesterday, just holding this flank with the Tracer, that pylon's pretty tough to kill too. Even if you round that corner, you have to get quite, like, you have to get quite the distance on the pylon. Stone should be able to spot it right next to him. Yeah, it should be an easy kill on the pylon there. Can't hit the reset either. It still goes on the cooldown. Neb's in a little bit of trouble. Little outburst to get away from Stone. So taking a fair bit of damage, forced to recall, and now Stone might be in a little bit of trouble. Has to get out of the window. All good. It's actually Magic Maple that falls down first to Haven on the Ash. It's a really hard cross here. As you can see, Strider's just getting pummeled by Carahan as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what you're trying to do with this comp for UNC Inc, right? Like, you know, a lot of comps we see, they want to play together, they want to move as a unit. This comp doesn't care about that whatsoever, right? You know, everybody's pretty much going to play on their own, try and just, like, do punishing amounts of damage as Pirates in Pajamas works through the choke, and they're working through the choke without speed, or like a Lucio, right?
Oh, quick. Starts off with a knife kill. Down there. Shots in the back line as well. Still going to be tough, especially without a healer for your team. UNC Inc light, but still.
Yes, that's going to be the gravitic flux there from Calman as they kind of push everybody in towards this firehouse here to lift. But Pirates in Pajamas going to get healed up. Probably an opportunity here to make a play for the point, at least thus far. So looks like with Haven on the high ground, you see Neb in a distance. He's going to actually get pressured up by the Tracer here up on the high ground. So Stone making a play for the Illari. That's going to force out the ult, and it connects to a few players, but there's absolutely no follow-up, and now things seem to be falling apart for UNC Inc as Pirates in Pajamas getting all healed up. Very difficult to pressure with this Brig inside of the room. So they'll move their way onto the point. They'll get first tick. They'll make their way towards a second one, and this should be a point A take for Pirates in Pajamas. So that's where that kind of like spread out nature of that comp really falls apart.
There you go. Should be back now. All good. Yeah, now they can set up with another pylon on the high ground now. I'm just saying, it can work. Nice little first point take load, like you were saying. I mean, Pirates in Pajamas too, they've got this flight for the next fight. They were early push here, early window too. Nice angle from Haven. Has Bob, doesn't really want to use it in this situation. Just wait for a push into high ground, perhaps. Well, the defense.
Yes, they decide to push up a little bit closer here, right? I know with that Illari, you probably don't want to allow them to just kind of like walk on in and force you into position on the bridge. Oh no, shots there from Cowman. That seems like may have warranted a talk in the chat, right? I know this seems like a little bit of a stop, maybe a lull thrown in there, getting the kill as the door closes.
That was. Is the chat enabled? The chat definitely should be enabled. I want to see the BM. But yeah, that's kind of frustrating, just getting a couple of spheres weave through the doors. It's closing. Alright, Cap.
We get a battle of the Sigmas, right? Just kind of forcing out on the side here is that'll be the Bob. Doesn't make it fully around the corner, right? Looks like it potentially gets stuck there just by the body of Strider as he's quite low. Gonna go for the Gravitic Flux anyway as heals all it up, gains some shield. This will be a Flux back on the other side, lifting up Chronic while in Deadeye, so everybody's gonna get out of the way. Seems like we've lost Jaws again, so you'll be stuck with just me for now. But a nice play here from Nev, actually. Rotates around the opposite side as I say that. Magic Bay Ball with the Brig ult rolling, ends up, beating him down with the shield, stunning him, then finishing off with a whip shot. Is, in those close quarter scenarios, I mean, that is going to favor Pirates in Pajamas, right? You have the Brig there, obviously, with the ultimate Brig, great in close quarters. And you also have the benefits of having the Immortality build. This will be Amp Matrix from both sides. Up on that high ground, as UNC Inc knows they can't really give up this position, right? That's the type of position they want to play from with this composition, with that double flex support setup. So right now, you do have the cart moving underneath the bridge, but it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to move this for long if you're Pirates in Pajamas. You're going to have to back up, wait for some of your teammates to come off a spawn. And on the other side, you're going to have Neb going over the Zen. So you're probably going to find a little bit more consistent value here with the Zen, right? Discord, just to amp the amount of damage, always a positive. And then being able to play a little bit further away. You're not going to get stuck in those close quarter scenarios, especially when you're going up against the Brig and the BAP. So maybe you're able to use this, take a little bit of advantage. It's going to be the Discord onto Strider. He's going to take serious damage, and then just a headshot from the opposite side from Haven will finish the tank off of Pirates in Pajamas. So UNC Inc looks like you're going to be able to get another fight win here. Is now it depends what you want to do, right? You can play a little bit further back. You do have that Zen set up, right? You have the Ash, you have a little bit more range, especially with no speed with the Brig on the other side. Or you can play up here for the high ground, as it looks like, at least Calman's setting up there on the high ground. So see now, with Chronic going over to Widow, this seems like maybe this is a swap where you think they're going to be playing at range on the other side. You force them into these corners, right? Because they're so scared of the Widow, especially the Zen. Pretty good advantage. Nice shot there. Onto Neb, finishes him off with a headshot. So that's a perfect start here. If you're Pirates in Pajamas, that'll be a Gravitic Flux there. From Calman, gets quite low, doesn't really connect with anything. Rally rolling here for Pirates in Pajamas as Immortality Field keeps Hanbei and Calman alive for just a brief period of time, but not good enough as just that early Widowmaker pick. The Widow kind of falling out of the meta pretty much completely, just for situations like that. That time it pays off as Chronic able to nail the headshot onto Neb, then be in a great spot to get the payload moving after that. So some more changes here for Pirates in Pajamas as they've gotten that second checkpoint. So you do have Stone going over to the Genji now. So with some of these squishy targets on the other side, the Genji could be quite good. Are you? No, this is a new Jaws era, positive Jaws era. That's the new.
I've always been a positive human being, Matt. Don't worry.
I'm gonna be positive and say you're right.
Yeah, that's so true from you. Nice little window there from UNC. However, even better one here from PiP. It's going to be tough for actually Neb to really play at a nice angle here. However, Transcendence is still available. Doesn't want to blow it too early, but might have to. Oh dear, though. I mean, another reset hit will be needed for UNC. I mean, they've got ults, but I mean, Strider can build up towards a Flux in just a moment. I'd imagine 60% and spamming the spawn doors might be quite easy to get. With Hanbei going down super late, this is a tough spot for them to be in.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get out and contest, right? You're going to get the Diva, the Karigo, but it's going to be Chronic with a headshot as the Widow is definitely paid off. That'll be the D-Mech right before the Transcendence. Tough timing there for UNC Inc.
Good stick onto Anion, though. She ends up falling over, but it might not matter. Their team are just going to clutch it out. And there we go. OT finish for Pirates in Pajamas. 0 seconds on the board. All good, though. That was a heck of a defense from what I saw.
Yeah, from what you saw, yes.
I mean,
from the dominant fights on point A, it would appear a dominant defense. But no, it was a pretty good defense all throughout, right? Now, the Alari, I would actually tend to agree with So. We'd take a shot here from Chronic, taking out the Zen. I don't think the Alari is like the linchpin of the comp, right? Of like, oh man, it's working because they have the Alari in the mix. I think it's just like a nice addition where maybe they don't want to run Lucio. Zen's a little bit too easy to get caught out, where like Alari is the next one up. But they make it work pretty well on the defensive side of things. Curious to see how it works on offense.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, the offense is a little bit more tricky with the pylon. You'll have to hold it pretty defensively, like on the archway thing, but as soon as you get it past there, it can be easily spammed out. That's the problem against playing Sigma too. If it's in like a spammable spot, the spheres can just like ricochet and hit the pylon, and then it's just like, wow, it's dead. Which is the majority of your healing. Like I said to Scott yesterday, it's tough to play the Alari with like a Lucio, like a Zen. You have to have like another healer that does the majority of the healing, which is the BAP. Yeah, so we'll see how it ends up working out.
Well, I mean, that's why I feel like the issue though is like if you have to play with a character who does a bulk of the healing, you're just such a disadvantage.
So we get a quick listening though on this first attack.
Yeah. Tracer's top right now. Yeah, Tracer's top. They just have breaks.
You want to walk back, man.
Wait. No. Are they pushing, Donnie? No. There. I'm back.
Bring low.
Nice. Wait, 4 select here. We have no line.
Just run.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, we want. You're not take. Yeah. Take no shift. We should push.
Bring
here.
Bring drop.
Yeah.
But they're all fucking
one. Take space out left.
Nice. Tracer above me. I'm not playing too hard.
Yeah.
Just hang out on these guys.
I'm touching point.
They're taking so much damage from me too.
The same stuff we did in our warm up.
Yeah. Tracer's green. Tracer's above the...
Right now, she's top right.
Yeah. It's fine. She can lucky be there. Lucia's back from in.
She's back main.
I know, man.
I can't.
You let me?
Back one.
I'm gonna try.
Lucio.
They have no BAP.
Lucio half.
Try me. I'm dead.
Lucio one.
Lucio.
Lucio really one.
You're only two there.
Dead.
Okay, it's fine.
Nice try on that first push. You can see Cowman was like, we can win this for sure. Like they're taking infinite damage from me, like poking them in the train, but it's just the spawners that kind of rolled back in. Those first initial picks kind of biting them in the butt there.
Yeah, I mean, look, pretty good first push composed there from UNC Inc. Knew exactly how they wanted to go about things. And they get 2 ticks, right? Pretty important. Set themselves in a good spot where you get some ultimates now to be able to take it.
Rough. That was not a stick, and goes down to Neb. There's the Flux. Lamp's still active as well, so they should be good to at least sustain through some of that damage, even though Pop's around the corner just dinks Chronic in the head after Anion's Lamp ends up going down, and that will be the point. Second time's a charm.
Yeah, I don't think Stone want to use recall there, want to hold on to it, but with both damn matrices out and like just being around the corner with low health, probably needed to in that moment. So UNC Inc makes this Alari work here and gets the payload moving with a good amount of time. I mean, 4 minutes plus. See what Pirates and Pajamas decides to do. A pretty conservative comp, right? Holding the high ground here, probably the best option. You do have a Flux to try and get an early fight win. That's like a huge advantage that they have, right? Is that there's no support ultimate on the other side, right? So any of this damage that comes in from the Flux isn't going to be counterable with like a sound barrier.
Yeah, you're relying really on that Lamp staying alive. Well, there's the Flux, there is the Lamp. That pylon does end up going down, but both Neb and Hunbay are able to heal each other up. And they got an initial pick too. This was Strider trying to like turn the tides of this fight, but just really unable to do so. Went super aggressive with the Flux. They got a couple, but there was no follow-up to be had. And UNC Inc now taking the underpass.
Yeah, when I said they don't have a support ult, I misspoke because they have Immortality Field. You know, they're
not an ult, but very strong.
I mean, it could very well be as Hunbay just throws on the ground. The Flux, yeah, sure, everybody gets weak, but he just looks at the ground, starts firing some shots, heals everybody up. Is this going to be a Deadeye here from Chronic? So you can't exactly get too aggressive from Neb.
Fantastic E there by Strider. Having a little bit of trouble, but there's the sound barrier. Pirates and Pajamas good to stay on this point for a little bit longer now, but Strider gets up, focused out. Magic Mabel's sound barrier doing absolutely nothing. There was a window there, just supplementing the damage. That overhealth not lasting long at all. Clownman with the double, and UNC Inc with 4 minutes in the time bank. I mean, it may not be the Alari, Matt. Obviously, Neb now changing over to what I can imagine is going to be the Zen. But UNC Inc, and they spoke about it in those that listening, do what we did on warm-up. They're very, very well practiced on this map, it seems, and you can tell just by the way they're playing. 4 minutes to go. That's cool.
I like the swap from Pirates in Pajamas because, like, you're not making the Lucio really work, right? Like, you're not able to get into the back line, cause any problems, right? Also, everybody playing so split for UNC Inc. There's nobody you can really collapse on. So ditching the Lucio now, going with a double flex support look of yourself, really interesting. And the Hanzo is just so much burst damage coming in, right? A little bit, I know, deadlier at range, where it's interesting playing that Hanzo, especially now against the Widow, right? Chronic playing really far back by the spawn.
I got Magic Mabel has also changed over to the Zen. See how many headshots they're going to hit. I mean, Magic Mabel played so far up past the Sig shield. Okay, well, Nepto come out. Chronic at least got a kill onto Haven. Pretty nice angle for the Widowmaker, especially with these sights, but sewage pressure from Cowman. There's a lot of bodies near that point now, so Chronic's going to have to use that grapple to get away. In fact, ends up using the Annie and ends up using the lamp, but Chronic was already out of there. Both lamps have been traded, however, and this stick from Ryan's going to be good for one. Both traded their Sigmas. But on the defense, Pirates in Pajamas, especially with this Widowmaker, they're going to have a priority flank angle or an off angle. But Haven takes Chronic's head off with an arrow, just as Chronic was trying to get up into the sky. So that's a complete flip around, and UNC Inc just pushing towards this final checkpoint now with time in the bank.
Yeah, a lot of time as well. Is Cowman actually going to come back on the Doom Fist here? So I wonder if the Doom was just to get back towards that cart. Maybe he thought he had an opportunity to win, or they want to stick with it. But Chronic deep in the spawn lands some sick shots there. They get another one there.
Okay, Chronic.
So do you switch now off of the Doom? Do you want to keep playing the Doom? Yeah, the Doom was just to make it back, give yourself an opportunity here to the end. Here's the scariest part, I think, if you're UNC Inc, is that, like, where the cart is, you know, you can push up here if you're Pirates in Pajamas, like, give yourself, like, a 2-fight scenario coming out of the spawn. And then you're going up against Chronic, who's been hitting some sick shots on the Widow, where these slow comps with, like, you know, no speed, nobody to collapse on him. He lands a shot here, you're, like, looking at, like, one more fight after that, but it doesn't matter. Haven takes him out.
Yeah, body shot to Anian too. Anian pretty low, has to retreat. Bad news for Pirates in Pajamas right now. Widow's coming back in just a moment. Only just spawning. Here comes the Transcendent to stall. Pirates in Pajamas still with bodies on the point and health to boot as well. Chronic activating the sights, but there's a trade from cross map. You can see Haven not caring about these sights, but maybe the rest of his team should care. Chronic still ripping face on the Widowmaker. I mean, surely another one. Wasn't a headshot onto the Sigma, just a SMG fire. Haven does end his day, but it doesn't really matter. Anian's there for the backup. She takes him down, and with 1 minute to go, UNC Inc's time bank of 4 minutes, looking quite piddly now.
Yeah, where you win that, you know, you get that first pick, right? But then pushing in toward that spawn towards the end, Chronic ends up with 3. So Magic Maple now will answer Neb. They're going to both play Lucio here towards the end, as this is Inforsite, but, like, not the highest value Inforsite, right? You know, have a pretty good idea where all these players are going to be playing.
Yeah, it's more keeping in the Widow check. Here comes the window. Even with those sights, you might want to go for a little peek. Good stick onto Chronic, but even better lamb from Annie in there. We'll see if Chronic can land some more headshots. They're going to need to at this point with Anian and Strider down. Cowman to follow. Chronic waiting for the Tracer to re-blink, but completely lost the Tracer, who's now on the point. Yep, destroying your Tracer. Stone Chronic down. Neb dead, but doesn't matter. Chronic comes out with big kills once again. UNC Inc finish. They do get under a minute, so both teams now granted an attack.
Yeah, now with, like, it really interesting because of the compositions that both these teams are playing, right? Where, now with only a minute, do you play something with, like, Lucio to get through that choke a little bit faster, right? Now Pirates in Pajamas playing the Brig, and then UNC Inc obviously playing the Alari is...
Dude, this hard scope is crazy. Ooh, my God. That shot to Neb was kind of nasty. No hard scoping on the enemy Widowmaker, but yeah. That looks good. Looks good on the Widow. A lot of variation in this map. I'm loving it so far.
So it looks like, yeah, UNC Inc will be on defense here, so we'll get that one swapped at the top of the screen. So I actually think it makes sense to run the Illari on defense because you're just in like a better spot, right? I know you've proven that to work. Probably better on defense first point than anywhere else on the map. I'm curious if Pirates in Pajamas, they want to stay with the brick. I think their idea is to get control of like that, firehouse on the left side, make it really difficult for UNC Inc to kind of push in with that brick there. It's just, can you get that control without, taking so much damage from this comp that UNC Inc is going to have on D?
Yeah, so a little low. They're running the brick yet again. Imagine maybe we're going to stick. Okay, they're going to stick on the brick. Provide a lot of support to the Tracer, of course, throwing those packs out. We'll see how they want to rotate too, because we've seen it over and over again. Ryan and Neb just holding this left-hand side, this alleyway. Could be quite frustrating, especially if they want to cross. It provides a lot of...
That connects?
Yeah, of course it does. Magnate. Dude, Magnate is so silly sometimes. Well, Stone takes the pylon down. A lot less healing. It's actually going to force Ryan and Neb to retreat back to that mega health pack room.
Yeah, and trying to land a big dynamite, right? Just make it costly in terms of HP pool crossing this, but Chronic takes out Ryan between Chronic on the Widow and then Haven, playing the Widow as well. Some hit scans, some crazy stuff here on Midtown.
Yeah, Chronic looks so good. Yeah, this should be time on the point hit. No C9, all good. Magic Red Bulls firmly on the points. Ryan's going to come back after swiftly dying to that Magnate, but that will be the cap. And honestly, on this map, that sometimes takes a long time to kind of breach first. That's a pretty quick and impressive thing to do in a minute. OT's still here, though. That payload's going to get it going. UNC Inc, they're going to be able to hold fairly far up as well, Matt. You can see how close they're holding. Look at the Neb's positioning.
It feels like, though, like you're playing with house money at this point if you're Pirates in Pajamas, right? You only had a minute on the clock, like, to just get the cart and now get it moving. Feels like, especially getting it through that gate, you're at feel like you're in a pretty nice spot regardless of what happens. Look at this. I mean, imagine Mabel, that's going to knock players down. The pylon's gone as well. Maybe this is an opportunity.
Yeah, good relocation by Neb, forcibly.
Big dynamite.
Dynamite hits, then there's the window. A little retreat here from UNC Inc. They cannot lose anybody. In fact, they do. A shot through the window ends the BAP's life, and it's now only Neb to kind of heal up the team, and Illari needs the pylon to do so. Chronic does enough falling. There's the outburst straight into the ult. No ET either. That's a lot of damage, and that's insta-kills. That sunburst just exploding, detonating the team. That will be where the payload ends, but what a push after only scoring a single minute. Pretty impressive stuff from Pirates in Pajamas. They did whittle the time bank down on UNC Inc's attack too. It was 4 minutes they went into, so they were lucky to be granted this extra attack, and they do a lot of work with it.
Yeah, and you see Neb there towards the end, right? When the flux is going down, ends up moving to the side to avoid kinetic grasp. I know it doesn't want the sunburst getting eaten, right? And then just a crazy amount of damage, even with the immortality field when all those players land. So, yeah, really nice stuff there on D. From UNC Inc, they're able to, they give up point A, but, stop any type of bleeding, especially after losing the first player, right? You lose Hanbei, like you mentioned earlier, right? That's like the large source of healing, the one who's like responsible for keeping everybody alive in immortality field. To lose that player first and then to still be able to hold on is pretty impressive.
Yeah, the Captive Sun is just so good. And then, yeah, the Sunstruck, the explosions. Especially comboed with the flux, right? They're already down the ground, and the explosions just happen. Like, the lamp is great just for the flux. On top of the Captive Sun, ain't no way you're surviving that.
Yeah,
really nice little combo. Really good. It's just like almost an instant team fight win if you end up hitting like a couple of people, which they did. And the Brig was rallying too, mind you, so a lot of health. Well, let's see what UNC Inc can do on their attack. Like I mentioned before, it's always been Ryan and Neb just trying to take these off angles as the Illari and the Tracer. I can imagine we're going to see the same thing. Last time when we listened to their comms, they were just waiting to see if Pirates in Pajamas were going to kind of just run at them, knowing that the plan from UNC Inc is to send Ryan and Neb on a flank. We'll see if the same plan will be put into action here by Phoenix Guard Pirates in Pajamas.
And this is kind of where I worry about UNC Inc here is like for their comp, like it's about poke damage, right? And it's just going to take a while to develop that. If they lose a player early, that's the immortality field gone. It finishes off from Enion, but They're gonna end up losing Haven, right? The comp takes so slow, so long to develop, right? You lose this here. These players are still alive, just kind of lingering, right? They're gonna push in, get rid of the pylon. They're gonna kill Cowman and the supports here, probably. Just kind of waiting and staggering these players out. Yeah, you're gonna have like what, a junk attempt here with like 10 seconds left.
It's not good. It's not a good push. I feel like you gotta go. Well, I guess Tracer can touch, but yeah, you have to go Lucio. Oh, and Harmbait. Oh, there's no way they get out of that one. Yeah, there's no shot. Perfect play there from Pirates and Pajamas. Just punishing the overextending back. Well, not even overextending. They're on their side of the map. Calman just walks in and kills 2, though. Just get... What? Wait, what? Okay, Calman POV just walks in, kills the back line. I can imagine that was obviously help with the Tracer. Pulse Bomb does land on the shield of Cowman, though, who sends him extremely low, and there's no healers to be seen either for UNC Inc. They did get the touch map, but nothing else. Nothing other than that. High Noon on the point. Stone is dead, and they're still going to be able to kind of trickle on here, but is it really going to be enough? Ryan with the Pulse Bomb straight in the backline. Kills Chronic, too. Okay, they're sticking in this one. UNC Inc. might have just done it. Haven switches over to Soldier. What a scrappy fight. Starting off with Cowman killing the backline of Pirates in Pajamas. A lot of ults, though. That's the big problem here for UNC Inc. They had to make a lot of swaps, and they've not got much left for this next push.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, Pirates in Pajamas, they do everything right. They stall these players out, right? They killed them late, so they're not like able to just kind of get a full fight together. And Cowman with Haven just like walks through the choke uncontested, kills a BAP, and then just like runs through 2 other players. Like, makes very limited amounts of sense how that developed there, but UNC Inc. with a real opportunity here to steal this one would be huge, right? You can't fall down 0-2.
Gotta accept. Pirates in Pajamas know that Cowan has this flux, and he just came up. There's the flux, almost instantly hit it. Focusing out, Strider will be perfect. Uses a flux of his own. Not sure where it went. I don't think it hit anybody. Maybe just got booped out. Not entirely sure, but Calman are never dead. Just the overwhelming ult advantage here from Pirates in Pajamas. I mean, they had to survive against a 4-minute time bank against UNC Inc on third. They were granted a free attack, and they end up claiming the win. Match point now for Pirates in Pajamas. What an absurd push there from UNC Inc on first position. They managed to unlock it, but man, Pirates in Pajamas, the sheer tenacity, and along with a couple of headshots from Chronic on the Widowmaker, they end up making it work, Matt, and they're on match point now.
Chronic with some really nice shots. It feels like for UNC Inc, like, if this is a series you wanted to win, like having the opportunity right there on the map like Midtown, you know, where they're probably in the driver's seat for a lot of it, it is a must-win scenario. Crazy that they were even able to take point A, like in their overtime on offense. It looked like Pirates and Pajamas had it sealed there, but they're able to kind of like battle back with Cowman and Haven, take point A, but then the rally plus the Yam Matrix up on the high ground, I mean, just too strong there once they get control of the point.
That was so rough, man. So, I mean, this is the... There's, like, what is that? There's no way that gap fits 2 spheres. Like, that's so ridiculous. Insane stuff from Chronic on the Widowmaker. I mean, this is what you really need on this point. You just need, like, please, just insta-kill people, please, Widow. Like, you cannot stall this point out for long if you're on the attack. Like, the spawn point is so close, and the line of sight to the spawn is also incredibly close. It's really rough to finish it off if it's not a quick, decisive team fight. Unbelievable comeback from Pirates in Pajamas. Here's that combo we're talking about, the Captive Sun. Even with the Brig Rally, it's like, yeah, that's game. That is
You
game.
shoot at Sigma's big old feet, so it dodges the kinetic grasp, and nice play there. Sick pulse bomb stick from Ryan. I mean, this is like just a crazy scenario that they're even able to get it to this point. But...
Oh, yeah, didn't know. Oh, no, we got Haven. Okay. I thought they didn't get anybody, but little Suzu at the end there to help Haven survive that flux. Really nice stuff, and this was honestly just an old disadvantage coming from UNC Inc. They had to send people, they swap over to the Soldier to try and get back in time to try and cap first. A very close game, but Pirates in Pajamas ending up coming out on top. Close to that main event once again.
It's, you see the stats, right? Wow, look at UNC Inc's damage, right? No, but obviously they have the Ilari in the mix, and then also it's just 10k extra healing on the side of PiP, right? So it's like, you know, any of the damage that they were doing was just pretty much negated, right? You know, in terms of the more damage mitigated and the extra healing, right? Where Overwatch, I mean, Overwatch, you know, 1, 2, it just feels like it's so predicated at this level about like survivability, right? I know where if you can have the 10k extra healing and the extra damage mitigated, you may as well take it, right?
Oh yeah, I love the Alari. I think it does end up working out, and it's clearly something that they practiced.
Tough to combo with anybody else, especially when Lucio is like almost must. You're not going to play like Alari Brig, right?
Right. You need that defensive ult. It's just, yeah, it can feel a little bit rough. But when you get the combos off, it was pretty cool and looks pretty cool too. So, yeah. Next map is Esperanza. Pirates in Pajamas, that was their map choice as we jump over to that in just a moment. But there's a small substitution here. So Stone is stepping away for the brief moment and Taejong is coming in.
Yeah, so we'll have a sub as well for UNC Inc as Nebmu comes in to play the Alari there on Midtown. We'll step out for Paintbrush. So we'll see Paintbrush come back in here in a must-win scenario.
Yeah, back to Lucio now. No more double flex support. Very rarely do we see double flex now, so it's good to see a team play that one, even if it's only for one map. But Esperanza push, yeah, you need Lucio. You need to be able to get back to the point ASAP. Plus, defensive ult, like we mentioned before, just so important as we load in what could be the deciding match here for UNC Inc, a team that was formed an hour before the Swiss stage. Making it this far, pretty damn impressive. A lot of historied players here, to be fair as well, especially Paintbrush. We'll see if Pirates in Pajamas can just close this one out.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, seeing some extra double flex support would be awesome, right? I think just with the way the game has changed and the nature of the game, like, Lucio providing mobility to everybody is always going to be, you know, as close to required as possible in most scenarios. And then with Lucio, you need somebody who puts out enough, you know, healing output, right? So you're looking at, like, you know, App, Kariko, like, characters like that, right? Where kind of pushes a lot of some of the other heroes away, especially in that flex support role. So Pirates in Pajamas, they'll be Taejong switching over to Tracer, so you're going to get a mirror matchup on both sides outside of they're going to run that Cassidy again. So Chronic playing the Cassidy, going to play a little bit more in that like medium range, right? I would say like now, with the Sojourn, like high ground definitely like matters, right? Being able to put some extra damage down and like getting advantage for those railgun shots. But with the Cassidy, it doesn't really like matter. Cassidy can really kind of fight in any area perfectly fine.
Yeah, we'll see how that matchup ends up working out. Bit of extra defensive countermeasures for the Tracer too. Speaking of which, they're trying to poke around the side here. Ryan, but Taejong is going to be able to match them. Oh, yeah, Chronic seeing the Sojourn lit up. I don't want to mess with that. No, thank you. You remember when Sojourn was released, there wasn't really like a massive glow with the railguns? So you're like, I don't know if they've got rail. I hope they don't. If I bit on dead. That was a little crazy. Luckily now, of course, you can tell when the Soldier's fully charged, and you know exactly when to duck.
Yeah, her railgun at the start also is about the width of the push bot as well, so...
And it one-shots. One-shot.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, pretty strong ability. You know what's pretty strong? Hanbei's rush that they're going to get out first. Anya not too far behind. She's about 5% away. There's the rush.
Strider gets so low.
My god, she got nuked. Woo, Strider down. Anya to follow. Yeah, Anya just like 5% away from that. Maybe if they had it, like, they just matched the rush there, but Strider just got blown up.
Yeah, they set it up quite well, right? They end up getting the rush, but Strider is really weak even before the rush, and then Ryan actually is on the opposite side of that pillar, so even when he tries to disengage, run back, the Tracer damage on the backside just enough to finish off the Orisa. So an early little bit of progress there from Pirates in Pajamas. I mean, what, 12 meters or so, but UNC Inc wins that first fight ultimately, and now gets a little bit of a lead.
Only small though. Was that first fight. If you can get it around this corner as well, it's just so much more beneficial. But taking the high ground control here, you're again just waiting for your Sojourn, waiting for your Cassidy, whoever, just to line up a shot and get a kill. Strider though, a little bit of revenge there, killing a Paintbrush, but it's actually flipped all around on his head. Anian goes down first for Pirates in Pajamas, even after using that rush. And now UNC Inc are in a little bit of a precarious spot. They've got the high ground control of their own, of course, but this bot, I don't think it's going to move all too much. They're going to have to guarantee themselves a couple of kills because Anian's going to come back really quickly.
Yeah, they're going to swap over and play the Sojourn here, so Chronic probably says at this point, right, when you're not playing at that midfield, so to speak, where the bot is, like now you're going to get much more value, right? Being able to slide, get up towards that high ground, being able to actually put a little bit more pressure on Haven as the overclock comes out.
Oh, they're trying to find them some shots, but no, there is the sound barrier coming through. Oh my god. That beat from Paintbrush, I believe he was like 1 HP. Cowman comes up with a big Terror Surge kill, though. That's the main factor of this fight. UNC Inc with a good lead now, 35 meters, and then some.
Yeah, as they may actually even get checkpoint here off of this. So the sound barrier used by Magic may be able to keep everybody alive, especially when that overclock came out, but huge Terror Surge there from Cowman right around the corner, and that will be checkpoint. So Pirates and Pajamas was in a spot, was still in a spot looking to close this series out, but you know, now find themselves down, you know, more than 40 meters.
It's just going to be Ryan as well, jostling the payload, because they don't have to get down from height. Winning a fight here would be perfect. What tools do they have? Well, they've got Rush. Pirates and Pajamas do want to step up. Definitely going to get a Rush planted in their face, but they've got a lot of DPS ultimates of their own, to be fair. This Pulse Bomb could be a mean thing to deal with. And he's just playing a little bit more passive right now, doesn't want to get sniped. Speaking of getting sniped, there's the overclock. Ripped, Harmley dead. The Chronic does end up falling over, even after getting run at. You'd imagine that slide would help them out, but unfortunately not to be. Right now trying to chase down the enemy Tracer, a little blink smack onto Taejong, and this bot still in firm control of UNC Inc, even though they've lost Cowman. These are very scrappy fights, Matt, and nothing definitive here is bad for Pirates in Pajamas. They need a definitive fight because look who's already back. The UNC Inc, they're back at full strength pretty much.
Yeah, no, it was actually Ryan putting some pressure on the back line there. Magic Maple needed to go help Audience. She was getting pressured down there really tough by the Tracer. Now you're in an opportunity where you turn the corner here. Maybe you get that Kitsune Rush of your own, a little bit of an advantage here for Pirates in Pajamas, because you do need a fight win to kind of get the bot in into the territory of UNC Inc. Put some pressure on.
No, this is something you can do that exact thing with. It's just that rush to push them up onto heights. And the kill onto Ryan's really nice too. No one that can juggle bot. And now Chronic's in a position where he can find a lot of success. Anian takes down Cowman as they round this corner to the checkpoint.
Yeah, and sound barrier available here for Pirates in Pajamas, but look at this. They're going to back off the bot just a little bit. They're going to have one player consistently move it forward, but they want to play for this high ground. Haven with the overclock on the other side could be huge here for UNC Inc. Feels like you need to get a stop here. It starts to feel like momentum starts to swing in favor of Pirates in Pajamas if you don't.
So many ultimates for UNC Inc. though. See how they want to end up playing this one. Because it is Pirates in Pajamas with high ground control. A little boop off there. Nice. Paintbrush getting the Sojourn from high, but you can slide back up pretty quickly. There's the beats. The Terror Surge as well from Strider. Oh, 1 HP hitting the Terror Surge. Okay, it gives you a little bit of damage resistance, but not as much as that railgun does.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately not. That railgun firmly planted between the eyes of the Orisa. That's a nice little fight win there. I mean, you have to win that fight. You pop in 3 ults, you best win.
Yeah, and I would say what's the positive there for Pirates in Pajamas is they actually hold on to their sound barriers. They get close to tying the game, right? I know it'll be a little bit more, progress here for UNC Inc. as they get back to the barrier pretty fast, but you have the sound barrier to use, so potential to actually kind of get back in this pretty quick here if you're Pirates in Pajamas. It's going to be a Kitsune Rush used like on the side here, really interesting angle, so difficult for Pirates in Pajamas to fight it.
They can push super far too. It's always really rough going to get this far, to be fair. I mean, one team fight here might just be the end of the push. Now, at least, with Haven dead. I don't think they can try and match this one. I mean, they've got no ults. They just ideally want to die on the point, just try and find some stagger kills, not stagger kills, but like, try and find some pick-offs, trying to force some ops. Doesn't look like it's going to be possible, though. Yeah, Pirates in Pajamas just playing that too cleanly. No, they can't afford to use any ultimates here. They're a little bit further behind. They need that checkpoint. They need to get this bot pushing. Only 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Well, that's what I liked about what they just did there, right? Is like, okay, you lose that fight in their scenario for Pirates in Pajamas, you're pretty screwed, right? If you win it and use both support ultimates, you're probably pretty screwed as well because you give yourself really not a great chance to win the next fight, which ultimately matters. Yeah, and this is interesting. A wrap. This is going to give like high ground. This might be a little bit of a mistake here for UNC Inc.
Yeah, I mean, Chronic is trying to split the team up right now. That bot is in the mid too, mind you, or close to the mid. Now it's finally been taken by Pirates in Pajamas under that bridge, back to that wall. It can finally push the barrier, and it's up to Taejong now to try and get that checkpoint. Oh my god, what a snipe by Chronic. Snipes paintbrush high in the sky, and Cowman using that Terror Surge up on the high ground, but no one was there. He's trying to isolate Chronic, but the sound barrier's come in to save his life. I don't think he even needed it, to be very honest with you. And that will be checkpoint for Pirates in Pajamas. They've got Rush, they've got Terror Surge, they've got Pokemon for this next fight. They're in a very good spot where they can just take the lead now.
Well, that feels like where UNC Inc should have just played from the spot we see right here, right? Play from that choke, force them to use some ultimates, you know, disengage, come back around, right? When they wrap, they end up giving so much space to Pirates in Pajamas and that high ground, and kind of falls apart. And look at this, they're in a really rough spot.
Hanbei's already dead.
They lose. Yeah, oh, that was going to be their rush.
Hanbei dead. Onion pulls Rush. Still gets sniped out by Haven, though. Okay, they're playing in the rush, but Haven says not today. That overclock. Oh, it's dishing out some mean damage. I mean, Taejong sure takes him down, but Onion was hoping she could teleport into the front line, use the rush, and they can win the fight there, but they don't even get the lead. It was 5 meters away, and with only a minute to go, this is UNC Inc to lose now. They've got a rush of their own. And a beat.
They get pretty fortunate though there, Jack, right? I mean, they gave up all that space. You're basically in a spot where the game is going to be tied. You lose your Kuriko right away, and the other team ends up using their rush. And, you know, Haven just hit some sick shots there. You know, with the overclock going, where, and that, he didn't land those. I mean, you're in a lot of trouble.
Oh, Haven almost getting blown up there. That rush on the high ground, really easy way to clear off Pirates in Pajamas. They are still pushing the bot though. Taejong making Ryan's life a little bit more difficult. Can't, like, get into the fight, into the engagement. Has to pay attention to that bot. 20 seconds to go. Still UNC Inc in the lead.
See now if Chronic can get a spot, right? Gonna have a railgun charge, but really trying to play for this overclock.
You're playing for OT.
Overclock comes out, you probably see UNC Inc answer with a really fast sound barrier.
Seems like it. Chronic sliding forward, taking position. Here is the beat. Trying to match that overclock. Imagine Mabel's already dead. Terror Surge comes in to protect Chronic. Chronic snipes Haven out of the skies and takes the high ground. A double kill for Chronic using the OC. Cowman spinning to win him on the point, but Chronic's up on the high ground. You've got to kill the carry, but the carry is refusing to die. Taejong kills Hanbei, and the bot is still in contention. Ryan manages to take down Taejong eventually, but it's all onto Chronic yet again. Anion is there for the backup, for the support. Strider's working over to the Doomfist, and Chronic takes another life with him to the grave as Ryan is stepped up on the bot, but Anion takes them down. They've still got a rush mat, but it's just slowly trickling members of UNC Inc right now. At least they get back to the bot, sure, but there's only 4 meters in this.
Yeah, it's not far at all. I mean, you're gonna have the Lucio can taunt. He boops paintbrush away. This is gonna be a Kitsune rush. You have to get over here. Players are so split.
Strider's back into the fight. There's the sound barrier coming through from Magic Maple. The hold up of the fist there from Strider just tries to isolate Cowman, but a spear spin is going to push him away and take him down as well. A railgun shot and a couple of bullets from Ryan do take down the Doomfist. The Pulse one goes a little bit wide from Ryan, but it does not matter. He's still chasing down the back line. Magic Maple dead. It's a 2v5. Strider and Maple fall. Paintbrush is there to follow, so a 4v3 on the point, and Cowman just perma sticking on the bot to make sure it doesn't move a single inch, and there it is. UNC Inc keep themselves in this series, a 2-1 lead for Pirates in Pajamas still, but by the skin of their teeth they managed to make it work. UNC Inc with a miraculous comeback.
I mean, that is too close for comfort if you're UNC Inc, right? You get a pretty nice lead, you kind of give up some space there towards the end, and it's pretty dicey, right? I know you're separated by, I know, a meter or two, but they have some ultimates there at the end to keep it going.
Jeez, I mean, look, you missed the pulse one there at the very end, but Ryan just went like sicko mode, honestly. Like taking down the Doomfist, like you've got to just focus that down. You can't let the Doomfist get cooldowns off over and over again. Really nice isolation from Cowman, using the spear spin to push Strider into their own line of fire with the help of Ryan and a railgun shot. They take him out. It looked so winnable. Anion, she ended up using the rush super early to keep everybody alive. It really was just the spawn advantage there coming through from UNC Inc. They keep themselves alive in the series, Matt. Pirates in Pajamas, they're still on match point. Suravasa up next, and it was UNC Inc's choice.
Yeah, I mean, if you... The Doomfist there is, like, necessary at the end to probably get back, but, like, the Orisa does so many things to just punish the Doom, right? when the power block, easy spears to land, spear spin to just kind of knock him off course, where it was going to be very difficult for Strider to stay alive. So I can't really even hold that against him there towards the end, just trying to get back in the fight to help the team in any way.
You can't survive, bro. Again, against the Orisa and all the damage, it's tough for the Doomfist to really get much done. I mean, if you've got ults, sure, maybe, but yeah, it's Strider's there to get back quickly, stall the point out. Very, very close finale there. There was 4 meters in it. I mean, there were a couple of times where Pirates in Pajamas, Phoenix Guard Pirates in Pajamas, they ended up almost taking that lead, but UNC Inc, the tenacity of this team cannot be understated.
And these are some crazy shots. I mean, just to be able to kind of win this fight in OT, right? Taylor doing a crazy job testing.
Oh, that pulse. Okay, that pulse bomb looked like it should have landed on maybe.
Yeah, it was close.
My God. Well, he got him in the end, but yeah, Ryan, just the sheer pressure. And then Calman's doing I'm just going to sit on the bot. Ryan, go kill. I just CC everybody from the bot. I throw spears to try and help you succeed. A very, very close game.
Between last map and this map, these teams are really evenly matched, right?
Oh, easy, yeah.
I mean, almost the same damage, literally the same damage mitigated, really close in terms of healing output, where that map really close in terms of both teams playing pretty strong. Midtown was a really close one as well, where even UNC Inc may have you may even look at that and say UNC Inc kind of gave that one away, where this series could go the distance. Oh, well, it looks like Jack doesn't want to be here anymore. But, yeah, let's take a look at the winning comms here from UNC Inc, and we'll be back to the next map after this.
Yeah.
You have to.
I got it, bro.
I'm almost there.
I got you, Pain.
I spit carry back. I got power, bro.
Okay, I'm living.
Do one. I can live her.
I'm chilling.
Doom dead.
I go. Chase the recall. Chase the one.
What's your sword?
Don't see nine.
Chase the one to me. Chase the one.
Cure one.
One.
You're done.
Chase the recall.
I'm dead. Only so shy.
Just ending.
Oh my God, I'm Thanos. I'm 1v9. Oh my God.
I'm Thanos. I'm pretty sure that would say in the comms. I am Thanos. 1v9, the god. Beautiful stuff.
Thanos is he's just using the stones on your internet, snapping his finger, and every once in a while the internet comes back. It goes out.
The player's too electric, and my internet keeps DCing, bro.
I was like, man, Jack is really not excited to hear these winning comms. I was like, yeah, I guess he doesn't want to hear them. But Stone will come in here for Pirates in Pajamas, so a little bit of flexibility here in terms of what you can play, right? Don't have to play the Tracer all the time here. I expect the Lucios for both teams going to stay in, which they do. No subs for UNC Inc.
Yeah. Stone back in. See what's up on Suravasa. What an unbelievable finish. Suravasa was the map UNC Inc won yesterday. That was against Shikigami. That was a 3-1 victory in their game to secure their spot in this decider match. See if they bring out anything different here. Pirates in Pajamas too ended up winning Suravasa against M80, a team that everybody thought would kind of roll over their group, but Pirates in Pajamas proving they're quite formidable before M80 did close out on Junkertown. So Suravasa, the last couple of games for both squads, they end up taking those W's.
And on a map like this, I'm really looking at the damage dealers, right? Whether they're going to see the tracers after these, Symmetra TPs, and then the Sojourns. Because on a map like Flashpoint, where the map is so big, right? You get an early pickoff. The walk back is so far. You can give yourself a huge advantage, right? And with how fast the flashpoints tick up, you're always really 1 or 2 fights away from being able to win one. So seeing which team can get an advantage first, how aggressive UNC Inc is pushing on down.
Super aggro, yeah. Haven there exchanging railgun shots from Chronic, but Paintbrush booping Strider for the little kill. Good start from UNC Inc. Yeah, extremely aggro. Normally, you see teams jostle forever on this point, so UNC Inc kind of flipping the meta script and just taking the fight a lot quicker. They do lose Hanbei, which kind of sucks, but it's Kiri, so the Tracer's going to blink back a couple of times, just get the pick up.
It may have caught Pirates in Pajamas off guard, because like you mentioned, you know, both teams usually just kind of like jostle for position around that, you know, choke. Where UNC Inc, I mean, Kelly just spun his spear, ran on in, and everybody followed. I mean, there was just no fear, no respect given, and they had pushed them all the way back, but this is going to be a point flip.
Nice Suzu there to try and keep Calman in this one. Yeah, that early kill onto the Kiriko is biting them now. Or that late kill, sorry, onto the Kiri is biting them now. Just not back quick enough, and yeah, Pirates in Pajamas, they recognize that, they end up running them down. Just flip the script on them this time. There's a lot of flipping script.
Yeah, so I mean, look, you lose that first fight, you come back rather quickly, you end up taking the lead with how Flashpoint builds up as...
Hello?
See here?
Stone with the pulse bomb, same with Strong. Strong is there too. Yeah. Oh, good stick. Little Suzu.
Nice Suzu.
Recalled just in time there. Stone almost going down to his own pulse spot. Here's the rush, playing super aggro. Wow, Pirates and Pajamas and UNC Inc very willing to take these fights super early. This should be last fight on this point too. A late kill onto Paintbrush. No, that might be the difference maker, although 70+%, you're thinking here that Ryan can get the touch, but they're playing super far up again. Like, Stone's hiding in this spawn. Okay, they've sniffed him out this time. It's Ryan making sure Stone doesn't get in the way with any funny business.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much space for Tracers to, like, hide and flank and whatnot, and I think you have to determine here.
Can they touch? Ryan's dead.
But is it worth it at this point, right? But, I mean, so now it's almost even worse, right? You don't get a chance to touch, and then you may end up losing some players here on the rotation.
Nice pick off from Annie, and she ended up just headshotting the Tracer as they were trying to touch. The little overclock usage there by Chronic. Not ideal. Didn't get any kills, but at least dissuaded anybody from UNC Inc from pushing in. A Strider hiding again. Okay, hiding with a Terror Surge. All right. All right, okay. Spear into the wall. Haven going pretty low. Still got all your cooldowns. There's the rush. There is the Terror Surge. For like half a second, that was like a 1% Terror Surge from Strider. I mean, it pulled in the Kiriko at least for a second, I suppose. Trying to set up the rest of the team, I would imagine. As Anian just trying to get away. Little bodyguard action there from Strider, trying to keep her safe. Anian does manage to get out, but Strider not quite so lucky. My word, the tempo, both these are you think they're playing Ryan or something, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like, I mean, it's just so aggressive, like very aggro. I mean, you see both Orisa's Spear Spin Fortified, just kind of like cycling those cooldowns. The Kitsune Rush seems to be kind of like the, you know, signal to end up using your Terror Surge, right? Like, kind of just deter the team from running into it, hold on to it for a pretty brief period of time. It's Pirates and Pajamas, though, they did end up losing first fight the last time and ended up flipping the point. So we'll see if UNC Inc can actually hold on.
No more funny business, they say. All right, Ryan with the pulse. Gonna wait for that slide. Oh, nice prediction on the pulse there. Unfortunately, Chronic sidestepped it, as they were hurtling at about 1,000,000 miles an hour using that power slide. Paintbrush it down. Pirates and Pajamas still with double support ultimate, but they do not need it. Just end this one with a pulse.
And that's going to give them a huge advantage, right? Because you're not going to have the UNC Inc support ultimates online for probably another fight or so, in which Pirates and Pajamas put themselves in a position where, you know, with how fast the flashpoints stick up, hey, we need one fight to win. Everybody's probably going to have support ultimates across the board. You have to take your chances with that, right? Where you win this one, you go to flashpoint point here.
30+%, yeah, you aren't half wrong, Matt. Anian looking for someone to TP to. Oh, good. She ends up just clambering over the wall. Oh, what a headshot. What? All right, Ryan, see ya. See you in another life, sir. Any late kills here would really suck. All good. And no crazy late staggers. They do get a team kill, 60%, but yeah, I mean, they're just going to play up, Matt.
This is the scenario I kind of described, right? You win one fight, they're still not going to have support ults. You have another fight here, and you're in last fight territory with double support ult, and then you also have your overclock, right? So you're in a fantastic position if you're Pirates and Pajamas. I think the discussion has to be like, can you win this without using all of that, right? So you can kind of go into the next point without having to give it up at the start.
Ryan's there to touch, good sound barrier from Pirates and Pajamas. I mean, Haven doesn't stand a chance. I mean, it at least takes care of Stone. Rotation from UNC Inc onto the point. They actually managed to get the flip too. But is it enough? I mean, 99% for Pirates and Pajamas. I mean, this is a point hit, surely. Onion kept alive by a magic made ball. up in the skies. Double kill for the Lucio. And there we go. A 2-0 lead here for Phoenix Guard Pirates in Pajamas. They might just be able to end the series. UNC Inc need a miracle comeback. They already set themselves up to start a reverse sweep, but a reverse sweep plus now, I guess? New game plus kind of vibes?
Here's the positive for UNC Inc, right? They're going to get to the point first. You have double support ult to work with. If Chronic ends up popping his overclock, you just have that sound barrier in response. The issue would be the fight after, right? You lose that fight, obviously it's terrible, right? But you think you would win that fight. The fight after is really the decider.
Point unlocks in about 7 seconds as they use that rush. Nice spear kill. There we go. All right. A clean victory here from UNC Inc. As that point unlocks and they get the cap.
The best thing is they only use the rush, right? Right. You would have thought maybe you have Chronic end up using that overclock, maybe try and bait out sound barrier, but doesn't decide to use it.
Oh, Chronic. Oh my. Mid-slide too.
Mid-dash too.
Damn. Okay. Pretty clean. Pretty clean from Cam, man. Terror Surge to mess around with as well, like you said. Only using the rush is so good. Cameron just jumping into the back line. Using that Terror Surge, doesn't find much. Just drags a couple of people in, but that distracts Magic Maple long enough for Ryan to sneak around, get a pulse for. In fact, 2 kills too. Looks like Stone was also isolated on the sidelines. UNC Inc trying to pile on the pressure. 60+% now. Losing anybody here would be disastrous, but they're cool, calm, and collected. They actually force CDs out of Strider, who tries to make their way forward to the point.
Yeah, and I wonder if the talk here with Pirates in Pajamas, get another fight, get them to use beat, and then just call it, right? No, maybe you think, like, just don't invest anything here, as this will be the overclock. Looking to see if you can get that sound barrier out. UNC Inc decides to disengage instead.
Nice, big disengage too. They don't end up using that sound barrier to kind of counteract all that damage. They can just run in here.
Well, what do you think
as long as Anian doesn't have all... Oh, they might be able to just walk away with this one.
Because Anian's going to get the Kitsune Rush here, right? And then you also have Strider with Terror Surge, and maybe you're able to get up towards the sound barrier from Magic Maypole, where would you have been better off just using a sound barrier of your own and just engaging?
Well, there's the rush. Anian with 1% away from hers. It's actually going to force the back off hit from Pirates in Pajamas, and the flip too. They should be able to get a small little touch here. There we go. Trigger OT, and here's the later rush. Terror Surge, there's both sound barriers coming out as well. It's actually Calman the first to fall. Strider's playing on this rush too, so the CDs have been reduced quite significantly. That spear landing directly into Haven, and with Ryan dead, reset angle.
So that's the bad part about disengaging there, right? Is you gave the opportunity for Pirates in Pajamas to, one, get position to kind of like fight you around that, you know, pretty much the pillar, right? But you also gave them an opportunity to build up to some of those support ults of their own, right? So when you come back, everybody's got Kitsune Rushes to trade, sound barriers as well, and now you find yourself in a spot where, okay, we have overclock. Can you nail the shots? You know, that's going to be a nice Suzu there. Prevent some damage that would have went down there on Haven, but Stone finds Haven in the background. So now the idea of disengagement is pretty bad.
It's all falling apart, man. Oh, 99%. Ryan with 1, Ryan with 2. Wait a second. He's not out of the woods just yet. Hasn't got a recall. Just got a blink in a couple of seconds, but he can't get away. Oh, Strider and Stone just hound him down, and that's just it. Just like that, Pirates in Pajamas take the map, take the series, and we'll see you in the main event.
Yeah, and that is a scenario there towards the end that I would love to know if UNC Inc would love to have back, because you end up disengaging, you don't really get a great use of your beat. You give an opportunity for Pirates and Pajamas to build up some of their stuff of their own, and just giving a team that much space ends up coming to bite you.
But I certainly expected to see UNC Inc getting maybe at least one map, and they got so close. Esperanza was like...
Honestly... team that was formed an hour before Swiss, like actual huge, legendary W.
Oh yeah, and not to take anything away from their performance thus far, and they've been entertaining to watch as well. Early in this match, we've also seen some variety. I love that both teams were willing to throw Widow into the mix on Midtown for those long sidelines. It was that was a good match to watch. But man, I would have loved to hear the comms when they dropped Esperanza on the side of...
Thanos. I'm like...
Yeah, that side was funny. I mean, one of the players literally just screamed.
Oh, God.
I would have loved to hear what the opposition had to say there, though.
Yeah, I mean, map 1, I thought, like, I know Pirates in Pajamas was, like, clearly in control, right? But from there on out, like, UNC Inc was very much in this series, right? You kind of look at Midtown, right? Felt like, I know they were controlling the pace for a little bit of the game there. I know Esperanza, obviously, I know the one they end up getting, right? Ends up working out in their favor. And there towards the end, like, Surabasa could have, I mean, they could have went in their favor as well. So, I mean, UNC Inc, like you mentioned, Jack, like, formed pretty late with a pretty good showing.
Yeah, super good showing. Oh man, these Widow plays on this point specifically, my word, highlight reels in the making for both Widows. And this was another incredibly close map too. UNC Inc had 4 minutes going into third, and then they get it with 23 seconds remaining, granting Pirates in Pajamas a free attack, sorry, and then they end up coming out on top. This was an incredible series thus far, and like you said, Zoe, too, like, there's been a lot of variation in terms of compositions, which is always really nice to see, but even just kind of the standard Orisa with a Soj / Cass and Tracer and whatnot, also ridiculously entertaining.
But the way they played the Orisa on both sides, you guys mentioned it was so aggressive, which actually made this so much more entertaining, because quite frankly, I mean, Orisa mirrors are not the most riveting experience for anyone watching.
Hey, look, it's better than with the Orisa mirror when she had the ball and the shield. I'll take this Orisa mirror any day over that Orisa mirror.
I hope all the teams who have been making it to the main events, though, maybe take a leaf or two out of the book from PiP here, because the aggressive Orisa, I'm loving it. I honestly think that can give them the edge in quite a few mirror matches to come.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, Matt was talking about it too. It's like, well, a lot of teams maybe just kind of like, oh, we'll wait, you know, especially on this first point on Surabasa. A lot of the times it takes a little while for one team to kind of take control of the point or even get a first kill, but both teams willing to just kind of go bare knuckle boxing, just kind of run at each other.
Yeah, speaking of taking control, Chronic, man.
Yeah. Chronic's sick. Actual sick.
I actually cracked so many highlight-worthy moments from Chronic popping off on the Widowmaker. Sojourn, of course, absolutely crisp and clean. This was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the Widow shots were nasty, right? Especially, you know, here to really seal the deal on Midtown. And it's a really nice play on the Cassidy's, Sojourn in the mix. So, I mean, Chronic got a very good series that they're going to have to kind of carry over right into the main event. The competition only gets tougher.
Dude, Chronic kept them in this one as well. Like, unbelievable stuff on the Sojourn. That was, I mean, ridiculous maps. And yeah, one of the more fun series today for sure. Just how scrappy a lot of these fights have been too. It literally breaks down, and then Ryan comes back and like lands a pulse and like kills 2. It's like, what is happening? Like, yeah, really sick stuff.
It was bonkers. Let's actually listen into the winning comes of PiP.
I'm copying on Sojourn. I'm committed. Carry one.
I'm with you.
Carry one.
I want Sojourn.
Turning.
Where's top point? Where's top point? Third point.
I'm back into. Hold on.
I'm gonna die.
There we go. Okay.
It's just Tracer. It's just Tracer. Shoot.
Please kill him. Kill Asagi. Please.
Smash
Wait, get spirit.
Cut.
Let's fucking go, guys. Oh my god, let's fucking go, guys. Oh, I love you guys. I love you guys so much. 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 I love you guys so much.
Some love declarations coming out from Onion at the very end there. Absolutely love to see it. Also, a classic support line. It's just Tracer. Well, Onion. That Tracer did make you guys sweat a little bit. A very, very fun series to watch. I can only imagine how much fun it was and how stressful it was to play.
It was fun.
Talk a bit about the match. It was... I don't know, that almost didn't sound convincing. Are you still like just coming off of the adrenaline of the victory?
Definitely. I'm probably still like shaking a little bit, but it's okay.
It is okay. Well, you get to chill out with us for a few minutes and answer some very interesting questions, I'm sure. Let's talk a bit.
Oh.
Yes, anything you want to say?
My mom says hi. I just want to say that.
Oh.
My mom says hi to you.
You know, I love that, because heading into the interview, I'm thinking of questions. I'm like, I just want to shout out her mom, but I don't want to make it awkward for her, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, hi! It's so nice to not see you, but hear from you.
I'm watching right now, yeah.
Love you, mom. Top 3 mom, for sure. Now, about the match though, and I hate to be that person, but I do want to talk about the lost Esperanza. I mean, it was so very close. After you dropped that one, what did you try to focus on heading into the 5th map? 4th.
Well, I think we kind of messed up our neutral a bit. But, I mean, it was close either way, even though we made so many mistakes. And props to Taejong, too, for coming in. He did a lot. But I think after that, we just decided to just say, we're going to lock in next map. We're good at Esperanza, we're good at Flashpoint, so I don't think we were too worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and like you changed up the tempo too. Like, we spoke about it just a second ago before you came on. Like, you guys played so quickly. Like, we're normally seeing like, oh, can't wait for the 30-minute stall to Orisa shooting at each other. Hopefully the Sojin clock somebody, and yay! Like, but you guys just a whole new level of like, okay, we're just gonna go in like super fast. Like, is that how you guys like to play normally, or did you think maybe that it would throw UNC Inc off their game?
We definitely always like to play fast. I think it's very good to play first with the Orisa. We just, I don't know, it's mostly just Strider and I think Magic talking a lot. And then with everyone else kind of calling their ults. And it just kind of works, I guess, like we mesh together.
I love the comms, by the way. they just go sick. I love them.
The comms are great, and also like the speed in which you guys play, very aggressive. Going into the main event, are there any teams that you're looking out to potentially you want to play, would be excited to go up against, and pretty quick turnaround from here to the main event? Is there anything you think you could work on or improve coming into the next weekend?
Well, besides Orisa, I think we probably need to work on our monkey comp, but I'm not too worried. I'm not like too worried. I think we're fine. We got some more days to practice. I'll clean the shows up.
Just play Orisa against it. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, why change the working system, right? The guys look phenomenal on that Orisa comp. We did see some variety there as well. One last question before I let you go. You said you're feeling like the team is really gelling well. You joined them for this stage. What's the experience been like for you with your team?
It's been really nice. I like the way we work, I guess. We're like, I like how they talk to each other very well. We're always talking to each other about things that went wrong and botting after scrims. It's all good. And I think the best part...
A constructive environment then.
Yeah. The best part, I think, is... It's been a while, but getting full playtime is very nice.
That's right. I feel like you've been robbed in the past, so I am excited to see that Onion Revenge arc. We're going full anime in OWCS, and I'm loving it. Onion, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, shout out to you and your mom, because I love you both.
Thank you.
A big fan of both, and I can't wait to see more of you in the squad. Heading into the main event. Best of luck, Onion.